Hello, my name is Firdaus Adam and I'm from Universitas Dinamika. I'm here as the opposition team that opposes the government statement about why slaughtering animals is considered immoral because we eat meat out of them. So I would like to bring some information to the case regarding to the cause and the flaws that the government stated earlier. So the first argument was, why do we need to change alternative into eating plant-based foods instead of meat? And the first argument that I'm going to bring is the statement that the government said earlier, where the businesses switch from meat companies into something else. We already see a major red flag over here because this is not a small matter, and I think a government label-based institution have and should think that this solution is not applicable into a lot of business, because when you do this, it will affect majority of the business itself and it will affect society. And you need to remember what the government should do is to create a solution, not adding more problems into it, because the society already have problems, and changing meat business companies into something else is not a small matter. And we understand the fact that the government should at least create a solution that's not stigma driven by some group of people or propaganda, because we believe that the vegan movement also happens in this world, majorly on the Western countries. And when we understand that slaughtering animal is not okay, but as a human, do you think you're also innocent? When you live in without innocency, it's a really hard thing to do, right? And whether or not the companies actually did most procedurals correct. And we already know that vegan propaganda also upload videos about animals being slaughtered in an inhuman way. But that does not apply to all companies, and we should not generalize that companies killing animal inhuman apply to every meat companies that's available in the country or wherever it takes place. So it should not be the reason why companies should actually change their main business into something else. And then second argument, let's bring about violating animals' rights. Yeah. In this matter, the contents that you brought earlier also ends up into violating a lot of people's right on choosing their food or daily consumptions. Because if we actually have the conscience to understand that we live in the free world, everyone has their opinions, everyone has right to choose whatever they do, as long as they don't harm each other. And you should not bring conscience into the topic, because it will end up being a hypocrite and double standards into the case. And then the third argument, which is why eating meat should be moral. So we need to realize it. Exactly as a human with conscience that you brought earlier, we know that the fact that being able to access into a certain type of protein is completely human. By the means being called human, consuming meat is also considered human based on how your point should be. Because when you turn into a vegan, you want to not hurt animals, but you also do a lot of things that are considered harmful to others. Yeah? And then the majority of factual statements all over the internet also say that being vegan is also an alternative, not a solution, or not responsibility for you to actually choose for not being guilty. And then consuming meat that comes from animal is not an immoral thing to do, because you bring conscience into it. And if you have conscience that consuming meat is completely human, then you should have brought conscience into this argument. Because you need to accept the fact that everything that happens in this world is nature. It's completely natural, it's completely human. In this case, it's meant to be. Whatever you're doing, it has to be that way. You cannot change it either way. And the fourth argument is, you brought cultural and religious side, and the government also mentioned that religion, such as Buddhism, also offers you to become vegan, yeah? But that doesn't mean you should be vegan. And I believe that God, a religion comes into this world to make human a better being. And they also offer solutions for every human problem that exists. And that includes eating meat. As you know, in the latest religion, which is, let's say, Islam, it offers you how to halally slaughter animals and they will not feel pain. And some researchers actually have tested it. You could have done some researches, but I'm sure you didn't any because you only brought Buddhism because Buddhism is an old religion that happens like years ago. And Buddhism offers you a choice whether you can be vegan, but remember that doesn't mean you should be vegan, and it's also your choice as a human, because eating meat is considered humane. You should focus more on the greenhouse effect that you brought earlier about the greenhouse gases that are caused by animal slaughtering, but you need to realize that humans actually do more harmful things towards pollution in this earth by either transportation or pollution businesses. You should focus more on that because it contributes at least 200% of the climate change and partially caused by the greenhouse effect. And then the last example on conclusion is it morally wrong for a hungry child to eat an egg? Because it's actually a real controversy where they cannot, the most healthiest food is actually that comes from animal. So yeah, by this case, we believe that eating meat is not considered immoral.